to drink and never thirst. Many women followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering unto him. They knew that he was the well from which sprang living water. He was that bread which came down from heaven, not as their fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and were dead, but they who would eat of the bread he offered would live forever. In the dry and dusty deserts of Israel, wells were not only the source of water for the community, they represented life to the community. Where there was no water, there was no life. And so it is with Christ. God has made him the source of life for us. There lived in Galilee a woman who had been struggling for 12 years with an ongoing issue of blood. By Mosaic law, she was considered unclean. She had spent all her wealth hiring many physicians to try their many remedies in hopes that somehow she might be cured, but all to no avail. Then one day, she heard of a master healer who had come to her city, a well of living water, filled and running over. She just had to get to him, close enough to drink, close enough to touch.
I've suffered much and given all for many healers' care, but nothing better, only worse, an overwhelming load to bear, till I'm ready to lay down and die. But from the window I hear this hope-filled cry, a man named Jesus, he's come to heal us. And suddenly my faith comes alive. If I get close enough to touch, close enough to heal, somehow I know I'll be whole. If I get close enough to feel his healing power so real, I can believe there's a miracle for me if I get close enough to touch. I press my way into the crowd and touch the master's clothes. A perfect cure felt deep inside. He turns to ask, I turn to hide. I'm afraid to reveal what was done. How I called on his power to right this wrong. But this is Jesus. He's come to heal us. And suddenly my faith comes alive. If I get close enough to feel, close enough to hear,
healed in an instant. Why? Because she believed. Thy faith hath made thee whole. Seconds later, a dejected father who had just received the news of his daughter's death was told by Jesus, "Be not afraid, only believe." And Jesus went with this man to his house, entered into where his daughter was lying, and taking her by the hand, restored her to life. Faith is believing. Yet while we marvel at the faith of her parents, have we overlooked what this young girl might have experienced? To leave her body for a time and go to the world of spirits. And why was she chosen? To become the Savior's miracle and take part in his beautiful design. In Galilee, the people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shined. And that marvelous light was not enjoyed by those of Galilee alone. Jesus' illuminating presence traveled throughout all Israel, seeking such as would walk in his light and gather life therefrom. There lived in the town of Bethany of Judea a family whom Jesus dearly loved. One day, death cast his heavy shadow over his household. Word had been sent to Jesus to come quickly, yet Jesus waited. The tradition of the Jews held that the spirit of one dead remained near its body for 4 days before proceeding on to its eternal home. Jesus wanted to show that his power was not subject to tradition, so he purposefully waited till the 4 days were past. Meanwhile, The family continued to mourn for their beloved brother, whom they could not help but believe would not be with them again in this life.
Lazarus' brother with illness lay, death lingers in the air. Jesus, my brother, still far away. Oh, Master, hear my prayer.
Days had gone slowly by, to had his body laid. Jesus, why hast thou not heard my cry? Hear in my heart my prayer.
If thou had been here, if thou had been here, I'm sure my brother would not have died. My sister whispered, the Master's come. Run now, he calls for you.
My heart was heavy, for death had won. Too late, what could he do? If thou had been here, if thou had been here, I'm sure my brother would not have died.
If thou had been here, if thou had only been here, him whom thou lovest would not have died. Jesus stood weeping, and followed us seeking the place where we laid him to rest. Then God gave to heaven his faith, and the dead walked again. If he had been here when we hoped he'd been here, we might be doubting his power over death. Somehow he knew when to be here. Son of God, he is always here.
He is always here, and all power is given him in heaven and in earth. All power. There is nothing too hard for him. He can bring back to life those bodies that linger in the grave, and he can raise to spiritual life those souls who struggle in the prisons of sin. There was a woman, her past filled with sin, who came to Jesus as he ate in the Pharisee's house. Though she came meek and lowly, weeping before the Lord, the Pharisee condemned this woman in his heart. Jesus, knowing the Pharisee's thoughts, looked upon the woman and said, Simon, seest thou this woman? I entered into thine house. Thou gavest me no water for my feet, but she hath washed my feet with tears, and wiped them with the hairs of her head. Thou gavest me no kiss, but this woman since the time I came in hath not ceased to kiss my feet. My head with oil thou didst not anoint, but this woman hath anointed my feet with ointment. Wherefore I say to thee, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much. And Jesus said to the woman, thy faith hath saved thee. Go in peace. Go in peace. Go in peace. Simple phrase that has changed everything for me. He forgave so much heartache and pain, have been freed by this healer who saw good in me. I only need remember the words he spoke most tender to a sinner, even such as I. Prince of Peace, share his treasure with me, and all my sins, which were many, are now released. From this day, I will trust and obey every word from my Savior and King. And I'll start with these. Go in peace. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. He who raised his hand over the stormy sea and said, peace, be still, can heal the wounded heart and calm the troubled soul. And blessed are the peacemakers, those that take the peace of Christ to others, for they shall be called the children of God. However, while you and I might earnestly seek to bring the world his peace, every soul must choose him for themselves. No one can drink the living water for another. All must carry their own oil in their own lamp. And blessed is that servant, whom when the Lord cometh, shall find so doing.
Foolish or wise, shadows of light, every soul free to choose English or life, foolish or
About a week before his death, while Jesus ate in the house of Lazarus and his two sisters, Mary came to him and anointed his head with a very costly ointment. Though his brethren were unaware of his fast approaching death, yet she knew it and performed this act of adoration. She did it in token of his burial. This same Mary, who chose to sit at Jesus' feet and hear his word when he visited, apparently knew and understood things about him that even his apostles did not at that time comprehend. Mary had given him her time when the Lord was near. And while that good part, which she had chosen, would never be taken away, she knew that Jesus must soon leave her. He would be leaving them all. And so sadly came the day of his death, Yom Kippur, a day of atonement, the day of tears.
a crown of thorns, a cross to bear, and sorrowing friends following near. Yet he speaks through his grief, weep not for me. But how can we hold back these tears? Yom Son, day of sorrow. Yom Demand, day of tears. Day of tears. The tearing flesh, the trembling nerves, some now bow in jest and mock his thirst, and still from his lips, Father, forgive. But how could they slay their Lord? Yom Sar, day of sorrow. Yom Demand, day of tears. Day of tears. Now asleep, rest in peace, Jesus, Lord. With love we come to wash away what hate hath marred. But can it be, now we see no grave can hold thee in? Death has an end, thou lives again. Yom Simcha, day of gladness.
Why weepest thou? He lives who once was dead, unless thy tears be tears of joy. For that Sunday was Yom Simcha, day of gladness, Yom Pele, day of wonder. Others he had raised from the dead, now he had raised himself. What miracle of miracles! Yet his whole life was a miracle. From the virgin birth in Bethlehem to the laying down of his own life on the cross, to his taking it up again. And every miracle was for us, always doing those things that pleased his Father, always about his Father's business. And through it all, one woman knew him best, his beloved mother, Mary. Who else from the beginning was more familiar with his miraculous life than she? And Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. What she understood, she accepted, and what she did not understand, she trusted, that he might work his miracle for her. Woman, behold thy son.
From the sheltering wood of his cradle to the crippling wood of the cross, from the stony cave of a stable to the stony tomb of my loss, I would see my son rise to greatness, but now he's risen home to thee. He was my miracle
Mary, the mother of her Savior. But Mary knew that her Jesus belonged to all of us. Zion hath said, the Lord hath forgotten me, but he will show that he hath not. For can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee. I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands. I, the Lord, remember those who are upon the isles of the sea. I remember every creature of my creating, and I will make myself manifest unto all. Other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
Come close, my precious child, listen to the words I'll sing.
Many years ago, before you were born, Jesus came, and he would make my life forever.
It was dark for many days, storms had taken all we own.
I've been driven to my knees, longing for the warmth of my home. When a light appeared above me, he had come, King of all kings, ruler of worlds, for his other sheep. I felt his hands, I touched his feet, and I'll forever rejoice. He came for me.
It was like there'd been a drought, and every word he spoke was rain.
Bringing life into our world, and hope of the words of the prophets passed down through the ages.
Then he called the children close, he loved them just as I love you.
He let them touch the marks, he let them kiss his cheek, and they knew, we all knew. He had come, King of all kings, ruler of worlds, for his other sheep. I felt his hands, I touched his feet, and I'll forever rejoice. He came for me.
He came for me.
Who among you, having 100 sheep, if you lose one of them, doth not leave the 99 and go into the wilderness after that which is lost until you find it? And when you have found it, do you not lay it upon your shoulders, rejoicing? And when you come home, do you not call together your family and friends, saying unto them, rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which is lost? So also is the worth of souls great in the sight of him who died for humankind. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you. To love as Jesus loved, to serve as Jesus served. In a word, to be like Jesus and go about doing good. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, then shall he say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, ye have done it unto me. To love our Savior is to love our neighbor. By this shall all the world know that we are his disciples, if we have this love one to another.
I have been there at those trials and watched as they mocked Israel's king. I wonder if I would have tried to turn their hearts to him. If I had been there when they whipped him and watched as he fell to his knees, would I have been willing to offer him my life for him? For his friends, how he bled,
if any of us had been there, and yet we were not. Instead, we are here. This is our day. This is our time. And what shall we do? Come follow me were his words. Not a one-time pronouncement to all, but an invitation that comes to each of us over and over again. Come, women, let us follow him. Let us live to bless souls with his love. Let us live to plead for them above. Let us live the hungry soul to feed. Live to bless in time of need. Sisters, let us learn to love joyfully. This love, the pure love of Christ, is charity, and charity never faileth. By this shall we bring about a great forward movement among the women of the church, a movement of renewed commitment, a movement in which we are destined to shape history, a movement where we partake of the pure love of Christ and then disperse it among those that surround us. As the prophet Isaiah said, with joy shall ye draw water out of the wells of salvation.